Good day, happy to have you on board. Today we'll be sailing through the wonderful state of Utah. More specifically northern Utah. As we look out the left window, you can see that's the Ogden-Hinckley Airport. And into the distance, you can see the Antelope Island, which will be our destination. Current altitude is 3,647 meters, which is should have plenty of momentum to reach the island. At any moment you want to conserve some energy, you would want to pull back on the stick to maintain a sensible angle of attack. Because after all, we do need to make it back to the runway. So we don't want to dip too low, but we want to be low enough, maybe we can see some buffalo, some antelope, maybe, who knows. But that's what we're currently about to find out. Present time, it is 14 hours and 9 minutes at 20 degrees Fahrenheit. You can see that our rudder string is telling us to which direction the wing is coming from. We just picked up a little bit of speed. You can see now to our left again, right below us is we're gonna make a small turn here. We're going a little bit speedy, so we don't want to turn too fast. We have Ogden right below us. And a single runway you see there, that is the Hill Air Force Base. Interstate 15 runs south to north, north to south, all throughout the state, and that is it right there. I-15, intersection there is Royce City. This location you have Burger Bar, very popular place here in Utah. To the north here you have the Wheeler Bay. And behind us there is Brigham City, Logan. I believe currently we are flying over the West Haven area. It's hard to tell from this altitude, but you can see the Freeport Center from this location. That is in the Clearfield, Utah, if I'm not mistaken. can see the causeway starts there, in a city called Syracuse, Utah. And the causeway stretches 15, 20 minutes, depending on your speed. But I could be wrong. Sometimes time feels a little different when you're having fun. Far in the distance there, you see Salt Lake City International Airport. About 30 to 40 miles. Behind that, I believe it's before that mountain range, there is a town, Tooele. Very in the middle of nowhere location, but very calm. I only met one person from Tooele, and they tell me how to pronounce it. Names in the Utah state that very hard to pronounce for me, mainly because I'm not a native to the state or the country. But at any rate, we are now in clear sight of the Antelope Island. Now, there's a lot of things about Antelope Island. Been there a few times myself. It's very well equipped with all the amenities that you might require for your adventure. For instance, we will focus on to have a launch for the boats if you have a boat and you like to go boating. That marina right there, that's the one. You also have a visitor center, and I believe is on top of that hill. Excuse me, we gotta watch our descent. We are descending quite alarmingly. We're gonna possibly make a landing in the island. So stand by for that. But hopefully we can get some of the altitude in return. Maybe we reach the pockets there in the island. And we have confirmation that is the visitor center, the structure of buildings. There's a beautiful gift shop in that location. If you follow this road towards the top of the mountain there, you will see an overlook. There's a situation there where you can, there's multiple devices you can utilize to binoculars to view far away. And I gotta say, this has been my favorite thing about the northern Utah. The southern Utah has the arch, very beautiful place. You have camping grounds where the sand starts and the grass meets. You have a few camping grounds there. You can see they've been designated by those dirt patches. Typically, you have the ranch, sometimes you have the staff situated in these buildings, but I'm not sure. It's just from what I see. Next to that, you have the tallest point of the island. It's a very relaxing hike up the mountain, and you really get the feel of where you really are. Perhaps we make it our mission to start a descent, and we pick up some hot pockets on the way back up. I believe it's the 15 American dollars to visit the island. But if you like to adventure, if you like to, we're gonna reduce the speed here a little bit. It caught me monologuing, so we're gonna have the winds come down a little bit, reducing speed. As I was saying, if you like to adventure like me, my suggestion would be to get the yearly pass. I believe it's the 75, 80 American dollar, and it grants you access to national park across the Utah. But that is completely your choice, and depending on when you watch this video, that information could be outdated. It could also be outdated at the moment, since my trip was some time ago. Next time you can coordinate, depending on the weather conditions. With a friend, maybe you can meet them up here and they meet you on the hill and we can wave and say hello. But we will save that for next time. I believe I have found the next spot that I would like to show you, and that is my window lining is blocking, how you say, blocking out the view, but if you can see, there's a small compound, and that is no regular compound. We're gonna get our aircraft to behave itself a little bit. The speed was getting a little too aggressive. Okay, we're gonna give it a little bit of trim. We're gonna adjust the trim a little bit. Okay, we're good for a moment here. So that compound is a ranch. From what I understood from the trip, there was pioneers that live there, and they sustain themselves by living off the land, the animal, and they had housing. Uh, and you can take a tour of the house, the tools that they use. Again, there's another pair of binoculars. They do a 360, you have a 360 view, but most people seem to focus their attention on the mountain range that we are currently flying over, this ridge line. We will now be reducing its speed so we can have a more controllable maneuver. And the best way to do that is to find a sensible speed, easy on the input. And don't worry, if you ever give it too much input, you can get something called that spin that you see there can be easily counteracted with a little bit of rudder with your pedals. However, avoid doing turns that are too aggressive. We want to stay within the green when you're maneuvering. Again, very slow inputs. Okay, now we will go into a dive, and at this moment, when you reach into the yellow area and the speedometer, stabilize the aircraft as much as you can. We're going to do one quick maneuver. We will want to pick up the wind that is coming from this mountain base here. So here we go. We're going to go into the yellow. Brace yourselves. We'll see how far we can push it.